Oftentimes I'm asked, as the creator of the product Oral IV, how did I come up with this particular product? Well, it's a very interesting story of humble means, and that was as a clinician, I've seen just tens of thousands of patients over the years, and I've been practicing for 23 years now. Some years ago, it's probably about 15, 18 years ago, I was really looking at how could I maximize getting nutrient delivery into cells and waste products of cellular respiration out of the cells. So I got to thinking and I said, well, you know what, if I'm going to figure that out, I have to look to nature. Nature is the litmus test for the truth as far as I'm concerned. So I knew that there had to be a way. So what I would do is I would just kind of got to thinking, well, how is it that plants create themselves, and then therefore plants are consumed by animals, and then other animals consume other animals and plants, and then as humans we're consuming them as well. So how does that chain happen? Well, it came to me that it had to really due to a culmination of various energies, that being of course the ground, right, where all the rocks and minerals are, but how did the plants take them up? Well, there's a chemistry there that is governed and influenced by multiple factors coming into play. Number one, of course, the magnetic field of the earth, the energy caught within the ionosphere known as the Schumann resonance. Then you have water that comes down and percolates through and creates the fluid environment and the chemistry necessary to do that. Then light from the sun. So you actually have a combination of all the different type of energies and harmonics from air, water, light, sound, and EMF or electromagnetic fields. So I thought to myself, well, how can I capture that in a way to where I can put it into the body and therefore allow the body to gain some enhancement from those imparted energetics? Well, that was where the chemistry began to happen of working on a couple of different things within the lab to take a particular combination of electrolytes or minerals, exposing them to a certain chemistry, which involved those other energetics that I talked about, and then being able to remove the fluid from them through a certain process and then collect a particular powder that I would then include with various substances, whether it be a multivitamin or different botanicals or herbs or different things of that nature. I started working with various formulations for different tissues and systems within the body. So what I found is that I would always want to apply what I call my Q square M square, which is qualify, quantify, measure, and monitor. So if ever I was really going to gain insight, I had to really make sure that as I was working with the individual patient that I realized that every particular patient, a lot of these patients were athletes, military special forces. So these people were really strong, drivers and active and stuff, concerned about their health, but would sometimes find different choices that weren't the best in the world would catch up with them. So of course their health would be influenced in a negative way. So we had to use environment, food, hydration, mindset, a lot of other things to kind of get the body to come around into a state of healing and well-being. But oftentimes it gets a little difficult because the physical biochemistry is obstructive based upon its own chemistry and electrical situation, that everything moves across membranes and through the systems. So what I would need to do is I would need to leverage various nutraceuticals, botanicals, sometimes medications and things like that to actually help the patients be well. But I thought to myself, well, if I could take these compounds and combine them with an electrolyte formulation, different than anything else out there, that I could influence the way that the body would take in these substances and let go of the undesirables as it heals. So I always measured my patients, so I would do various testings when it comes to things like organic acids testing, where we would take a look at downstream metabolites of neurotransmitters, oxidative stress, what are the metabolites of the mitochondria and the citric acid cycle, markers of carbohydrate metabolism, also amino acid status, fatty acid status within the membranes. So we would take a baseline of looking at those particular markers across broad systems biology, get a status, and then we would put certain substances in there, follow up with those markers again and see if we saw change. But then I would also then therefore do similar, but then additionally add in these particular what I call crystalloid electrolytes, because they're derived from a different fashion. They're just not dehydrated sea salts or ground up rocks. And we would put those in combination with these same substances that we were using therapeutically. And what I found was that metabolism worked far more efficient. Now, a very interesting thing happened. Now, I wasn't even thinking about these along the ideas and lines of hydration and what it did to that. Now, I knew it would have some influence on the fluids of the body, but not when it comes to the states of hydration, type of approaches out there. So my athletes and my patients would say, hey, Dr. Beck, the thing is, man, I'm needing to consume less water. My water seems to stay with me longer. I'm having more efficiency, and my performance, is better. I'm not knocking off, hours and tons of minutes off of times and PRs, but just their overall ability to perform as they did, and particularly recover and have that feeling that now their fluid status is back in their body, was all improved. So it was actually accidental that the particular product Oral IV came into fruition. It was a byproduct of my desire to be a more powerful clinician, to help patients heal and obtain higher levels of well-being. So it's super exciting to be able to share this particular product with people out there, and make no claims when it comes to all these amazing and magical things that you see out there in the info space being conveyed, all these claims of high performance and all these other kind of things. Where Oral IV really shines is maintaining the body's own innate potential to provide energy and what the actually integrity and the function is of cell walls and membranes. We actually call that membrane charge potential. So that's where it really does it to enhance the function, right? So the beautiful thing about Oral IV is it's unlike anything else out there. It is not designed to replace electrolytes. You still need to get those in from plants, from foods, and things of that nature. It also isn't designed to replace water volume. You still need to consume healthful water. So the thing is what the difference is Oral IV's design and its history came about was to enhance the function of your minerals, trace minerals, electrolytes, and water as it functions in the body by helping to recharge, lend a little spark and a reestablishment of its charge potential. So that way, under times of illness and exertion or different things where the body has challenges with all of those, Oral IV comes in and it's able to basically recharge the battery and support those particular systems. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions regarding the product or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we will do our best to help you when it comes to implementing higher levels of well-being, and particularly your hydration strategies, and making sure that you get the best out of life.